Hello, everybody. It's Brian here, and today we have some Final Fantasy play boosters. These things have absolutely blown up. I I was looking to try to get a box when they first came out. Just I thought maybe there was just a lot of hype at the time, and boy was I wrong because the hype just continued. I got these actually at my local Walmart. I picked up nine. I went one day, grabbed some. There wasn't any collector boosters or anything. I took a chance to go ahead and take a look. I went on day of release actually, and they had about, I'd say probably about 50 of the hangers, the ones in the just in the single packs. And so I bought nine, and the day I went back, they were gone, just flying off the shelves. Figured we'd just get some to open. It's one of those things. I'm probably not going to get a lot of this. I'll keep my eye out just as some other places to pick one up here or there. But it's really cool. There's a lot of really cool stuff in this. I haven't, been immersed in the Final Fantasy, like all the games. I think I played one or two of them, probably like seven and I can't even remember, nine maybe. But there's a lot of really good cards in here. So I'm intrigued to see what we can get when we go ahead and we open some of these play boosters just for fun. I want to see kind of what's in there. And I will say that as we're opening these, some of the cardboard containers that these came in had like the anti-theft things. Some did not. So it was a little interesting when opening these just to see what was in there. All right, so I'm going to kind of go a little bit slow through some of these just to kind of take a look. I know which ones, there's a lot of different rares and mythics that are amazing in this set. And I know like Cloud, the one with the artifacts, is one that I would love to have. Buster Sword, things like that. I know there's a lot of really cool lore behind this set. Oh, Time Sorceress. There's a lot of really cool things. So, all right. So our first rare is a legendary artifact, the Water Crystal, and they do have a full set of these, like the color cycle, which is kind of cool. And then behind that, we have a Monk's Fist for our foil. Oh, and then we have a dual land that enters tapped, and then an art card. And I did hear, interestingly enough, that the art cards are going away. I'm not too sure. That's what I heard. I don't know if it was on X or whatever. I'll go ahead and I'll keep our rares kind of maybe like up top. But Water Crystal's the first one. Blue spells cost one less. That's pretty sweet. If opponent would mill, so it's like a mill. All right, here's our next one. And I know there's some crazy hits with the collector boosters. This is the Summon Joko's Mog. There's some crazy hits with the collector boosters, and just too rich for my blood. Those things are 1200 and rising. It's crazy. Final Days. Joko Comet. It's pretty cool. And then, see, I feel like there was a lot of, and these are the play boosters. That was a lot of uncommons, right? So like 1, 2, 3. This is the fourth uncommon, and this is a double-sided. And then we did get, oh, this is kind of cool. So it's a double-sided, and it's like a half card. So that means there's the top part of it too. That's kind of cool. And then we did get a full art Lindblom Industrial Regency, which is actually kind of cool. I wish this wasn't a black creature that it created. I really wish it was a red creature, just for one of my commander decks. But it's kind of cool. So it comes in tapped, but if you want to use it for the land side, but you can use it for the instant side. And actually, that's really cool art. I like that art. All right, so there's our second rare. And then we have Sleep Magic. And then a full art foil Forest, which is actually pretty cool. Take a look at that. I like that. All right, sweet. And then a token, hero token. All right, so after two, we got one of the artifacts and then one of the lands, one of the color artifacts. It'd be awesome to get, I mean, it's interesting to see out of these nine, just because they're singles, just how many mythics, if any at all, that we get. Because I know it's not like a normal box, you know. And here's a Blitz Ball. Add mana, 1 mana of any color, and then sacrifice this artifact. Draw 2 cards. Activate Only if an opponent was dealt combat damage by a legendary creature this turn. That's actually pretty sweet, especially for Commander. And then Overkill. I know there's been a lot of talk about this card too. It's just really funny. Target, it is a little overkill, but there's ways to go ahead and deal that damage to a person too, which is kind of cool. Battle menu, Thief's Knife. I think there was 4 uncommons there too. And then alright, so we did get our first mythic. I'm gonna butcher this, but Nibelheim, a flame, and it's a full art. And it actually looks like this is a little bit off center here, the little mark right there, or the little hologram thing. But that is really cool art. And I'm not sure if that is anything crazy, but I haven't taken a look except for, at a few things. And our foil is self-destruct. Then we did get a foil of the tapped lands, tapped dual land. But that's really cool. I mean, 2 of the full arts is pretty sweet. But we are on the board here. 1 mythic. We'll take it. Paladin's Arms. And then so far, with these play boosters, I can't remember now if they have any. I mean, the last time that we opened some with the play boosters, I don't think they had any of the surprise cards in there. So I'm not sure what's going on with those anymore. I don't know. Everything keeps changing, I feel like, with every set. It's like our 5th month. Oh, nice. So they do have a bunch of these different ones where it's, and this is just an uncommon, Memories of Nibelheim, A Stroke of Midnight, where it's almost like it's a snapshot from the game itself. But that's really cool. And that's an uncommon. And we have a Sandworm, Summon Primal Garuda, which is pretty cool. And then Diamond Weapon. And then we have Fire Crystals. We got our second of the crystals here, which is cool. And then a Grand Pulse Uchu. And then one of those dual lands, and then a bird. Our bird token. Alright, so we got 2 of the crystals. And I like the fire ones, actually kind of cool. Sorry, the mountain. So red spells cost 1 less. All of them have that. And then creatures you control have haste, which is pretty sweet. And then pay 6, create a token that's a copy of target creature you control. Sacrifice it. So I really like that one. Alright, here we go. So this is our 5th pack. I'd have to take a look if any of these commons are getting some play or look at for Pauper. I want to say there was a few. Agency of the Sanctum. It's pretty sweet. So they have some towns in here. Barrett Wallace. Side quest. So I wonder if this is the other side to that other one. I'll check it out when we look at this rare. Then we do have, our first vehicle. So the Regalia. Let's take it. Oh, nope. So this is not, but it is a legendary creature dragon, which is kind of cool. So this is another dual or 2-face card. So the Regalia, that's our rare for this pack. And then the Golden Saucer. Oops. And then a full art forest, a different one. And then our art card. Alright, so we got 4 more. We have 1 mythic. I would love to hit Cloud or Buster Sword, but we shall see here. I know there's a few others that are pretty sweet. And I'm not too sure, what... I mean, obviously you don't get any of the, the Surge foils or whatever in these play boosters, but that's kind of cool. So a target creature gets +1/+1, gains hexproof to end of turn, and untap it for 1 common. Alright, here's another one of these. Oh, that's actually really sweet. So, here's a Brainstorm. So this must be the stuff that they're putting in there, because I don't think I don't know. Is Brainstorm in the set? I'm not even sure. So that's actually really cool. I bet the foil of this looks amazing. But there is a Brainstorm. I'm going to put this one up top, because I bet that one's actually probably pretty sweet. Brainstorm always sees play, right? Judge Master Gabrant. Delivery Moogle. Opera Love Song. Alright, so there's 4. And then we have Machinist's Arsenal. It's an equipment. It's pretty cool. And then, so there's another rare. Slash of Light is our foil. Full Art Plains. And then a hero token. So we got 3 more. So the Machinist's Arsenal, Equipped creature gets +2/+2 for each artifact you control, and it's an artificer. And job select too. So nothing too crazy, but here we go. You're not alone. Lighted Judgment, Sephiroth, Intervention, Giant Toad, or Gigantitoad, Gigatoad, Gigantoad. Not sure. Rook Turret, Grand Pulse, and this would be a real fun set to draft. Haven't looked into anything with that yet though. This is that Reno and Rude, Self-Destruct. Nice, and this is a dual-faced card as well. This is one that has two. Chaos the Endless. And then for our rare, we have Huron Wild Rose Warrior. Equipped creatures you control have haste. Whenever a non-token equipment you control enters, create a token that's a copy of it, except it has. This equipment's equipped abilities cost 2 less. That's actually really sweet. It's pretty cool. And then we see Laughing Mad. And then we have one of those duels, and then our art card. Alright, we got 2 more here. Let's see if we can get another of the mythics. Let's see. Scorpion Sentinel, Jogmog, Item Shop Keep, the old magic pot, and then we do have, wow, that's kind of cool. So this is our second brainstorm. Put this. So once again, I'm not too sure, you know, about how often like you see these ones. I'm assuming like the brainstorm always sees play. So I guess it just depends on, you know, if people like this art or this version. But I feel like it is pretty sweet. So I'll put this up top because we got 2 of those. Relentless X ATM 092. It's pretty sweet. Samurai's Katana. Restoration Magic. There's a lot of stuff going on here, right? So you can choose so just for 1, permanent gains hexproof indestructible. Pretty sweet. Wish it was common, it's uncommon. Target permanent gains hexproof indestructible, and you gain 3 if you pay 1 more. For 4, all permanents gain hexproof indestructible. That's pretty sweet. And then we see side quest, play Blitz Ball. And then, nice, so we do have another mythic. We have Y'shtola Rule, legendary creature Cat Druid for 6. At the beginning of your end step, exile target creature you control, then return to the battlefield under its owner's control. And if it's the first end step of the turn, there's an additional end step. So this is just really good for getting stuff out and in, so if there's any ETBs. And then we see, nice. So then we see another. So this is Kefka Court Mage, and this is a full art foil mythic. So that was 2 mythics, a brainstorm, and this is a full art foil mythic. Whenever Kefka enters or attacks, each player discards a card. Then you draw a card for each card type among cards discarded this way. That's pretty sweet. And then 8, each opponent sacrifices a permanent of their choice. Transform. So this is a 2-sided card. And then there's Kefka, Ruler of Ruin. So that's really cool. See, I don't even know, and then we just have a couple of these. I don't even know if this one is worth a lot. It's really sweet for a 2-sided, you know, full art foil. I mean, it's the best version probably, unless it's like a special treatment of this mythic. So that's really cool. So I'll have to take a look at that one after. And we're down to our last pack here. But yeah, I'll have to take a look at that one. That was a 2 mythic pack. So we are at 4 mythics out of 9 packs. 4 mythics out of 9 packs. Not bad. Alright, but still no Cloud. That's the one. But I know a lot of people are looking for that one. Blazing Bomb. Fight On. Greens. Magic Dampener. Instant Ramen. I know there's a lot of stuff going around about this one. And then, cool. So here's another one of those full art ones. So what was this? Minwoo, Rebellion's Strategist. And for Magaria, the Diplomat. That's pretty cool. And then these ones do have like the the thing down here, the little hologram thing. I wonder if they all do, if it's just certain ones. But cargo ship. Ride the Shipoof. And then Ultima is our final rare. For 3, destroy all artifacts and creatures, and then end the turn. And it's a sorcery. And then look at that. So, last pack, little last pack magic here. So we have Ultima. And then we have another rare, which is actually kind of funny because it's not foil or anything. So I don't know how we got 2 rares, but I guess with the play boosters that's possible. So we have our 2 rares. We have Ultima, that's the first one. And then we have Cecil Dark Knight, which is a dual-sided card here. So on one side we have Cecil Dark Knight Death Touch. Whenever it deals damage, you lose that much life. Then if your life total is less than or equal to half your starting life total, untap Cecil and transform it. And then it's a 4/4 lifelink and protect, which is actually pretty good. Yeah, it's pretty sweet. And then we have our Colosseum Behemoth. That's our foil for the pack. Then we have this, and then we have an art card. All right, so we did get 2 of the crystals. We got 2 of the crystals, red and blue. We got a really good warrior when it comes to equipment. We did get 2 of these brainstorms, which is actually kind of cool. 2 of these brainstorms. And then here were some of our mythics. We got this, I think, it's got to be the best one out of the 9. But the Kefka Court Mage, right, with both sides. So this is full art foil mythic. We had the Shotula rule, your Stola rule. Then we have a full art Nibelheim Flame, and then a full art Lindblom Industrial Regency. So all in all, that was pretty fun. I don't know how many more of these I will end up getting, but it was super fun to go ahead and open these and just be able to take a look at the Final Fantasy stuff. Really looking forward to the next set as well. I believe it's Edge of Eternities. But this set's going to be a lot of fun. Maybe I can get a draft or something in with the Final Fantasy cards. But as always, if you guys like this stuff, let me know what you guys have pulled in the comments. Go ahead, like, subscribe, and then we'll continue doing this more often. But awesome as always. We will see you guys next time.